Hi, everyone. Welcome for another conversation with me, Nick Corbett, and Mashria. Mashria is developing a global health crypto project, but today we're going to discuss an underlying supporting technical idea around that, which would be the merge of Ethereum. It's out there in the news. A lot of people are reading about it, hearing about the merge, although I mentioned it to some people and they have never even heard the term. So it seems popular where people talk about crypto, but not where people don't. And I think your project requires really spreading that crypto knowledge amongst a whole population within a large geographic region. So I think bringing greater awareness to a topic like the merge is worthwhile. So I have some preconceptions about what the merge is, and I'll let Mashri, I'll let you handle that part though. But before we dive in again, if you'd like to say any intro or good mornings or afternoons to people.
Yeah, good afternoon to those people living in the eastern side of this planet, start beginning to China, coming through Africa, and then the way to United States, the East Coast. And then good morning for those in the west of the East Coast, all the way to the Pacific Ocean because that's morning for them. I think maybe goes all the way to Hawaii. I have no idea. But well, great topic, Nick Corbett, about the merge, the Ethereum merge, very important. We're talking about Ethereum merge because we have a lot of interest in cryptocurrency, particularly the blockchain itself and the role of the blockchain in global health. And that is the reason for this seminar series where we talk about the role of the blockchain in global health. And so today, the topic that you would like us to speak about, Ethereum merge, is very central and very key to that idea of the global health and blockchain. Yes.
Okay, cool. Can I pose a specific question to you just to kind of set the foundation here?
Yes.
We hear proof of work, proof of stake. One is environmentally friendly, one is not. And Ethereum is moving from one to the other. Is this the most important thing about the merge, or is there other things that we should be paying attention to?
This is one of the most important things about the merge. Proof of work consumes a lot of electrical energy because to validate transactions in a consensus algorithm that is proof of work requires electricity and of course computer hardware in locations, and they consume a lot of power and they generate a lot of heat, so they need a lot of cooling. So they also consume a lot of water for cooling, or maybe they are melting the ice cap over there in the North Pole. Yeah, so those are environmentally unfriendly things because of power consumption or heat generation, also increasing to the heating of this planet, which some people like to call global warming. Now, proof of stake is quite different because it is distributed consensus algorithm by individuals with their own laptops, wherever they are in the entire planet. Meaning that my laptop can actually perform proof of work. It doesn't consume any extra energy. It's more than I use, but than what is when I'm watching a YouTube video. Is the same energy consumption. So it's just the usual energy you consume with your laptop at home or at work.
Is proof of stake? I think you said work there, but that's proof of stake.
That's proof of stake, yes. Proof of stake.
Okay.
Sorry for saying that proof of stake is individuals using their laptops anywhere in the world or their computers to validate transactions. Yeah.
Okay, and is it a doubling? So let's say that every computer in the world is not contributing to proof of stake, and then suddenly every computer in the world is contributing to proof of stake. Is proof of stake simply absorbed into the existing amount of energy consumption, or is that energy consumption doubled because you're saying that essentially it's the same as it?
No, the energy is not doubled. The stake itself, that's gonna be, the stake is what is gonna be used to validate transactions. Staking means putting your own money into the Ethereum network.
Yeah.
So if you validate a transaction that is correct, you earn some money. If you validate a transaction that is wrong, you lose money. So instead of losing electricity, you lose Ethereum, and the money itself is in Ethereum. The Ethereum coin, the ETH. So you lose some ETH for validating, trying to pass wrong transactions, and you actually gain Ethereum, ETH, by validating the correct transaction. So the money you lose, you have already put it in the smart contract for Ethereum, and that is what is known as stake. So the proof of stake is making sure that the money itself is the one that is working to validate transaction rather than electricity.
Okay, I got it. I understand. So I don't think I've ever quite thought about it in that way, where it's just exchanging the loss of money and as opposed to the loss of electricity. It is just an economy, and each of those things hold a certain value. So, but we need to believe in the money. We need to believe in something that's intangible. So that's why we're doing it. We're able to do this now, right? You say because people are trusting it more.
People are trusting it more, and it's actually cheaper for everybody. And of course, you needed 32 ETH to participate in the proof of stake in the original sense. But you see, Binance and some other people are pulling together individuals so that they can create proof of stake pooling pools. They can pool the ETH together, multiple individuals, to create to become eligible for that 32 ETH pooling.
Now that's an interesting topic, the pooling of Ethereum. So I can tell you that I have, I don't have 32 Ethereum, but I do have like 2 Ethereum, and I have them through Coinbase, and Coinbase, they are staked. So I'm contributing to a pool. Does Coinbase own this pool, and does that make Coinbase likely one of the largest stakers on Ethereum?
Yeah, it's one of the largest, and of course we have Binance and so many other people who own exchanges, and they are allowing people to pull together in this stake so that you can participate in the proof of stake, which is very good. Meaning that if you contributed your ETH in a pool of proof of stake through Coinbase, you'll be earning the staking rewards when you validate transactions correctly. When Binance does that, Coinbase does that for you. I don't know why I'm saying the wrong thing. I'm thinking instead of saying Binance, instead of saying Coinbase, I'm saying Binance.
I don't think anyone's going to fault you for that. I think most people will just be impressed that you're talking about this at all. And you know a lot about this, which is really incredible. When I ask questions, I always know I'm going to get thorough responses. So thank you. I'd like to quickly bring up the topic of Solana. You always compare and contrast Ethereum and Solana when we talk. Solana has already been on proof of stake for a while, and Ethereum is moving to proof of stake. So there's that. Why is Ethereum so much larger if they're pretty much going to be identical? And I know they're not identical, you have to get in there, but from someone, a layperson, I'd say they're pretty going to look pretty similar. And is it likely that we'll see the staking yield rise for Ethereum when it moves to proof of stake? Right now, I know my staked Solana earns about 1 to 1.5% higher staking yield than Ethereum.
Yeah, we like to see the staking yield rise in Ethereum. And so Solana began from the word go with proof of stake. It did not do the proof of work that you see. Ethereum when started, Vitalik Buterin, when he introduced Ethereum, he started off as proof of work. And so it has been very, very difficult to transition into proof of stake from proof of work for Ethereum. But Solana itself started as just proof of stake from the word go. In French we say double from the beginning, and then maybe that's why it has some advantage. But Ethereum is a much, much bigger network. Of course, it has the second largest market cap from Bitcoin. And Ethereum, when it goes to proof of stake, full blown, I suspect it might just bypass Bitcoin, because Ethereum has a lot of users all over the world, and of course has direct applications. First of all, enabling other people to build their cryptocurrencies on Ethereum network, which Bitcoin does not do. And also allowing other smart contracts to do, like NFT, non-fungible tokens, all this exciting stuff that's happening on Ethereum network, very, very important. So as far as the staking rewards are concerned, I learned that when the Ethereum goes to the 100% proof of stake, then the people who are staking their money there are likely to earn 4.7% in return. And then that is at level 1. So when it's fully complete, it is going to rise up to 7%. Well, Now we wait to see, but you can see the reward is much, much greater than what Solana is offering right now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And 7%, that's typically the percentage that most financial advisors tell people that they can expect on average for their retirement compounded growth. So I think I read something about Generation Z right now, a high percentage of them, maybe 30% or so, expect to retire based off of their crypto earnings. Do you think that's actually going to be a possibility in the future?
Yes, I believe it's going to be possible because one thing it's going to be possible. See, what Ethereum is doing is opening the world finance market in a very incredible way. That people who were totally excluded from the market, like those people in Africa, the third world countries, are now going not only to participate in doing financial transactions, but also in staking their own money. So that opens the base of the participants in the finance world. And that is the power of Ethereum. And I think that because of that, it has a very, very long life. And people are very, very interested in seeing it be very, very successful. Of course, other people are coming to support that even more. People like Gavin Wood, who was in Ethereum in the beginning, and he has created the Sub-Zero or Substrate Zero, which is a protocol for making these blockchains interoperable. That if, say, for example, you have Ethereum before, which was an ERC20 token, you could not use it on Binance. So with Substrate Zero, people are now creating these decentralized applications on Ethereum network. But then when it's on Ethereum network and you're connected to the Sub-Zero, then it can operate in Binance network itself. See, that makes these you see cross-chain interoperability, which is very, very good.
Yes. I like to think of it as if we picture the planet Earth, and we imagine a mesh casing around it, like a spider web of connections going around the entire planet. And we imagine that spider web is of a certain material, say water. It's water threads going around the world. And then we have another one that's oil threads going around the world. These are your two different layer one cryptocurrencies creating a mesh communication network around the planet, but they're of different types, so they're not they can't interoperate with one another. And you're saying that now there's a new thing that's kind of making a link between these individual global webs to make them all work together, correct?
Yes, that is Gavin Wood's work, which I really support, and I think he's very very intensive. It's called Substrate Zero. That substrate, the Substrate Zero, Sub-Zero, is the one that is going to make all these chains that are actually now alone. The web of water and the web of oil is now going to be able to mix together because and so I'm very excited about this crypto world and the blockchain world. It's opening up, particularly the third world, in a very, very big way.
Let's to put it into context. I like to think of, we already had the topic of energy, so let's come back to energy real quick. With Ethereum in its current state, or in its proof of work state, I've read that it uses about as much energy as some countries. Can you try and describe, if you know, how much energy Ethereum uses on proof of work? We can forget about proof of stake at the moment. Just on proof of work, how much energy it uses in comparison to, I don't know, you know how, like, if I want to measure the length of a wall, I'm going to use a ruler, right? And I know a ruler is a foot. I don't have anything to gauge against energy consumption. Like if you said that something uses 10 kilowatt hours of energy, I don't really know off the top of my head if that's a lot or not.
Yeah, you can look at states that have got a lot of energy distribution, like Texas. Texas, the whole state in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And Texas, you see, you have to supply energy to drive all the entire economy of Texas, and even manufacturing and everything. And you can see proof of, a whole state like Texas all that energy, proof of work can consume all the energy that people use in Texas. You see?
Okay.
And you see that, and of course, the way it's growing, it's grown so fast over the last maybe 5 years. It's probably multiple states put together, contiguous states like California and Texas together. So, with
How
that,
about of other countries? Can you equate it to, give us another comparison? Maybe some countries in another part of the world, maybe not in North America.
yeah, and you see what has happened in China. China, because of a lot of proof of work centers in the north part of China where it is very cold, the cities have lost their energy supply because the supply is going to the proof of work centers in the people doing, Bitcoin mining. And that is one danger that, you say, if you live in a city, say like you live in Boston, energy that's coming to the city gets shut down because of the digital mining that's happening. And what China had to do recently is to close those companies and tell them, leave our city. You guys are consuming all electricity for the people around here. So that's the main concern, that the proof of work actually consumes energy that is supposed to go to to be used by people for their everyday life and work. Yeah. And
Okay.
not only does this consume energy, it also creates a lot of heat. It generates a lot of heat, so these machines need a lot of cooling. So for cooling, they either go to a place that's very, very cold, like northern China or Alaska, or a place like Russia. And then, of course, they consume a lot of water, which is the hydroelectricity and farming and all that. So a proof of stake, on the other hand, does not have that kind of problem. So we're estimating, the Ethereum team is estimating that the energy consumption is going to reduce by 99%. So 99%, that's a lot of savings. And that savings, you see what that energy was paid for by the money that's coming from mining. So when they mine Ethereum, they get paid in Ethereum for mining, in those rewards, and then they take that money and pay for energy generation. It's for energy generation. And that's not good. All that money is going to be saved, and that money is in billions of dollars every month. So it means all that money that's going to be saved will go to reward people who are participating in the proof of stake. So the money gets distributed to a whole set of people, even in a much less energy intensive communities, like in African region. That's why I'm very happy, because you do not need for you to participate in proof of stake. You don't need to have access to a lot of energy, rather than even shutting down the energy to a city.
Yes.
For example, if you try to do it in Nairobi, proof of work, forget anyone having electricity at all in the whole of Nairobi.
No.
But now people in Nairobi can participate in proof of stake.
No. Proof of stake is very cool, but it's doing essentially financially something that people have been able to do for a long while, which is place assets into an account that yields a good amount of interest on that principal. Have people in Africa where they're unbanked had access? Have they had access to a high yield savings vehicle such as this before, with this level of return, steady return?
No, not in the past. You see, this is why this is a very huge opportunity, because even if they didn't have access to such high yield investments, it did mean that they cannot have money, the base money to get started. So we can pull the money together, or you have individuals who have got property they can sell and then put the money in the market. So that's the beauty of it, that the money becomes now represented in a very different way and a very ingenious way in the market for the people living in Africa, which traditionally the World Bank has called those people the unbanked. The unbanked, which I think is a derogatory term. So the unbanked, this is the time, and we should just call them the unbanked. I heard someone also calling them the bankless. So this is the bankless phenomena. The moment bankless of the bankless here.
Yeah. So it now, besides finance, there's a lot of benefits to well, we'll keep on proof of stake. So this is shifting to proof of stake. Ethereum is, and your coin, the Uber coin, is built on Ethereum. And you've mentioned before that yours will automatically shift to proof of stake when Ethereum shifts to proof of stake. So does that mean that if I own a number of UBNs, I can choose to stake or not those UBNs for a return pegged to the Ethereum interest rate?
I do not know if you can stake other cryptocurrencies, but Ethereum itself in a
Okay.
network. Yeah. So that proof of stake is for Ethereum. So UBN and other cryptocurrencies or other dApps are built on Ethereum network. The staking can be in the decentralized exchanges like Uniswap or SushiSwap, or even, such places, but not primary. The primary staking that's happening on Ethereum network for the proof of stake is for ETH alone, I think. Yeah. So for people including other coins, then first of all, the benefit is that all those coins are getting migrated in the proof of stake network, the POS network. But there's a danger because there's some people those old miners, those people who have been owning the mining proof of work system, they are very unhappy because, of course, they're going to lose a lot of revenue that was coming on a daily basis. And what they are saying, that they are proposing a hard fork for the Ethereum, so that the ETH itself, which is going to proof of stake, will have another fork, which is going to be ETHW, and the ETHW will continue with the proof of work. I think that's what they are called. That's why they are calling it W. And so you don't have to do anything if you're holding UBN or if you own a decentralized application like UBN on Ethereum network. But if you're planning to be interacting in both blockchains, both the ETHW and ETH, then you have to create a different wallet for each one of those, so that you don't get in some sort of trouble. Yeah, because you can have some people who are very clever, who can actually take the coin from the ETH, and then at the same time it's running concurrently with the ETHW, and then you can lose all your coins in between the process. So it's very important to use separate wallets for those two separate chains.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Cool. And I think that sounds right to me, that Ethereum will be staked and still have a yield, but that doesn't necessarily mean that dApps that are built on the Ethereum network will automatically do that as well, because Ethereum essentially is going to validate transactions, and the UBN coin or other dApps are just part of that validation process, right? Built right into the Ethereum staking process.
Yeah, what I like about this proof of stake is that eventually the gas fees that we pay for transaction fees in the Ethereum network, people who have different applications or dApps like UBN are going to pay for transactions with their own UBN. See, we needed Ethereum to pay for gas, but now when UBN is on proof of stake, you don't have to get Ethereum in order for you to do the transfers or anything. It's very, very powerful. So it kind of decentralized this even to another level that is incredible. Yeah. So it saves somebody money from say buying ETH, and sometimes ETH is very, very expensive, and allows or enables people to transfer their coins and be paid for the gas fees with their own coins.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah. Well, this is very exciting. I know it's 12:45, so at least in here in the eastern part of the United States. So we're gonna wrap it up here. But Mashria, great conversation, and I look forward to shifting these conversations to Wednesdays with you. I think I'm a little bit more alert at noon on Wednesday than 8 a.m. on Saturday. So I hope this works out for you.
Yeah, this works out for me. Thank you so much, Nick. And of course, I have so much to do this afternoon, and we let's meet every Wednesdays, and I'll take the time on the Zoom schedule itself.
Okay, fantastic.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you all. Thank you, Mashria.